Kuf of Zayin. So we were talking about an achbar from the Yam, an achbar from the Oretz, and the Gemara had excluded from the fact that it says ala Oretz. It must be it's only a land rat and not a even though there is a parallel creature that's called achbar in the sea, it's still we're going to be like that. So the Gemara said, "Yala Oretz, Yachal al Oretz Yitma, and Yard la Yom lo Yitma." Even if you have a land rat that goes to the sea, maybe once it leaves the land, it can't be metames. So Tamar Lemer Hashoretz. No, it says Hashoretz. Kol Makom Shashoretz. Any place that it creeps. So even if it goes from the land to the sea, it's still going to be metames. Meaning we have one pasuk that limits it to Oretz and one pasuk that expands it, right? So we're going to say the limitation to Oretz is teaching us that only the species that grows on land, and Hashoretz is going to include that even if it goes into the water, it's still going to be tummy. It says Gemara, "Ein ela Hashoretz kol mashretz yitzma she'ein mashretz lo yitzma." Maybe we should learn from the word Hashoretz that only something that is mashretz, that generates regularly with period of rivya. The word mashretz, like paru vayishretzu, that should be metame, but this is not paru v'ravek because it's noitzor from the actual dirt. It sounds like there's no father and mother even. That's what it sounds like. It's just straight from the dirt. The dirt, and then the dirt starts transforming slowly into flesh until it's fully formed. So maybe I should oitzi achbar shechetzi basav v'chetzi adam she'ein paru v'ravek. And maybe we should use Hashoretz for that. Where it says V'dinhu. It's logical to say that it should be Aser. Because Timei b'chulda v'timei b'achbar. Ma chulda kol sheshma chulda. So to just like chulda we include any type of chulda. So to achbar kol sheshma achbar, anything called achbar. So therefore avi achbar shechetzi basa v'chetzi adam. I should include an achbar that's half and half. So maybe we should use the hekesh to say that it is tamei. Oy kalech l'derech zu, ma chulda preverave. Just like a chulda that has regular preverave, av achbar preverave. Only nachbar is preverave, right? So meaning from a hekesh alone you can't use it. So maybe the hekesh to chulda is not going to be enough. So Elamai we should use the pasuk of Hashoretz for this. Like more said tam liber basheretz. So basheretz, Taisus definitely learns basheretz is coming to include, just like the Mishnah. Masharetz is saying not only is it if it's not part of, if it's only regularly part of a rava, even if it's not part of a rava regularly, it's still going to be outside. So Masharetz they learn that it's coming to include. Okay, so now one of the Bnei Yeshiva told Rava, maybe the word Basheretz is l'asuye achbar shechetzi bazav v'chetzi adam. Okay, very nice. That's going to include that. But Hashoretz Kol shu shoretz v'afil achbar shebayam. Maybe the inclusive Josh of Hashoretz should include. We're like 7 lines down, 10 lines down. Hashoretz, but the word Hashoretz should include kol shu shoretz v'afil achbar shebayam. It should include even an achbar shebayam. Meaning we had an inclusion and an exclusion. Hashoretz was telling us anything that's shoretz. So maybe Hashoretz to teach you kol shu shoretz afilu achbar shebayom. The im mishum ala oretz. What are we going to do with ala oretz? And ala oretz teach us it has to be a species that's on the earth. It's a meal. Where it says ala oretz yitma yard le'am lo yitma. Meaning we should use it to tell us that whether an achbar shebayom or an achbar, or whether a land achbar or a sea achbar has to be on the land. Meaning instead of saying Hashoretz is about location and ala oretz is about what type of species it is, we should flip it. We should say ala oretz is where it has to be in order to be mitame. Hashoretz is about the species, and any species should be also. So he says, once he already said Yam could generate makom tumah, it's a makom tumah to have achbarim that make tumah. So then mali hacha. It doesn't make sense to Rava to be mechalik to say
It's only the time
It's only the time if it comes down to the aretz. If the place where it's from, right, is the yam, and that it gives tumah, so why would it be makbid only on aretz? Okay. So the Gemara v'hai ala aretz. This word ala aretz that we're using to teach us that it needs to be a land achbar mi bayile. We need this laisi safek tumah tzafa. We need this to exclude if you have safek tumah tzafa. We know that safek tumah in Rishus Harabim is lakula, but in Rishus Hayochid is lachumra, right? So over here, let's say you have tumah, you have safek tumah that's floating on the water. Damar b'yitzuk b'ravdimi ala aretz. The word ala aretz is laitzi safek tumah tzafa. So the same way, even though we say safek tumah Rishus Hayochid is tameh, but if it's on the water, then it's tahor. And where do we learn it from? Because it says dafka ala aretz, meaning because the tumah of sharetz is ala aretz, right? But not on the aretz if it's floating on the water. So then, even if it's a safek tumah, it's lakula. So the Gemara says, okay, fine, no problem. Tarti ala aretz ksivi. It says twice. It says twice ala aretz. We're going to use it for that. Okay. Tan Rabbanon. Right, okay. Tan Rabbanon. Hatzav l'mineu. This is the pasuk by the Shratzim. Because we talked about the interesting achbar, that's half and half, we're going to talk about a few other animals. Hatzav l'mineu lahavi ha'aroid. Aroid is a cross between a snake and a turtle. Yechen anafilim, or they change it to uben anafilim, is a type of lizard. And salamandra, ben anafilim, I think they translate it as skink. And salamandra is a salamander. Meaning this tzav, the word tzav l'minehu is going to include not just the actual tzav, but its subspecies. I guess these things are all aroid. Atzav is a toad, right? Mm-hmm. So aroid is, I guess, a cross species between a snake and a toad. It's a subspecies of that. I guess a lizard. If it's a skink, right? So then it's a lizard. I guess somehow it's a.
What's a skink?
It's a type of lizard.
Really?
So, I guess it's included in that. And salamander also, even though we have lita'ah, I guess the word lita'ah isn't. Okay, I don't know. Okay, Rabbi Akiva would get to this pasuk. How fascinating are Hashem's maisim? Yesh chabriyas gdelas bayam. There are creations that are raised in the sea. Yesh chabriyas gdelas bayabasha. The ones that need that are raised in the dry land. Shabayam, the ones that are in the sea. Ilmali oilis bayabasha. If they go out of the sea onto dry land, miyad mesis, they right away die. V'sheabasha ilmali oilis layam. The ones that are land creatures, if they go to the sea, miyad mesis. Yesh chabriyas gdelas ba'ar. You have brios that are gdelos ba'ur, that they are raised, they grow up in fire. And this is a reference to the salamander. Salamander, I saw that in Greek it actually means fire lizard. And the Gemara understands, it's not just the Gemara, the whole, they bring over there from Pliny the Elder, like the old zoologists, they all believed that there was some correlation between salamanders and fire. Even today, it's muskam that they hang around fire, they hang around campfires, and there is some connection between them and fire. But the Gemara understands that they actually are gdelos ba'ur, and Rashi says here that their blood, if you smear their blood on you, then it protects you from fire. It makes you fireproof, right? So yeshcha brias gdelos ba'ar, yeshcha brias gdelos ba'avir. There's some brias that are raised in the avir, in the air. Shebaor ilmale oilas la'avir, if they would leave the fire, I guess it means if they would leave the fire while they're growing, then miyad mesis. V'sheba'avir, and the ones that are usually raised in the air, imali yard is lower, if they go to the fire, miyad mesis, they also die marab ma'asech Hashem. Right, so the only issue I had is we know that a salamander, I'm saying a salamander doesn't need the fire, right? You might think it comes from the fire, but it doesn't need the fire always. So I guess it means when it's gadel, when it grows, it needs the fire. Otherwise, it would die. Okay, Tan Rabbana. Kol sheyesh be'abasha yesh be'yam. Any type of creature that has exists in the land has its parallel in the sea. Yesh be'yam chutz min ha'chulda, except for the chulda, which is like a weasel. Amar Abzeir Maikra, what's the pasuk? Ha'azinu kol yoshvei choled. This pasuk in Tehillim, which is the reference to all people who live on earth. Right, yoshvei choled is a reference to earth. But why is it called choled? So the Gemara is saying because it's lashon chulda, because it's called yoshvei choled because where is the chulda? Only on the earth, not on the land, not on the sea. Amar Rav Huna Bar Yeshua, Bevrei Danrash Einan Mina Yishuv. So, this is machlokes of here to Rashi and Taisus what this whole statement is talking about. According to Taisus, it's very simple. Bevari is a place, and also the Narash, everyone knows is a place. So it means Bevari and Narash, both of these places are Einan Mina Yishuv because the people are Rishayim, they don't contribute to society, they're Einan Mina Yishuv. And the Gemara is going to talk about them soon also. But according to Rashi, Bevrei Danrash are the beavers of Danrash. The beaver is a certain animal that the Gemara is discussing. That they're Einan Mina Yishuv, meaning that a beaver is not a sheretz al arts. If you want to be magdir, what exactly a beaver is, don't think it's a sheretz al arts because it comes from the water also. Right? Beavers, they live on land and water, so they're in between. So what do we magdim? When you give someone malchus for eating a beaver, right? What's he being over? Is he being over sheretz al arts or not? So that's the Gemara saying over here. No. It's Einan Mina Yishuv, meaning it's not from the land, and therefore it's not Sheretz HaSheretz Al-Aretz. You'll be over on something else. You will over on the regular lav of Kol HaSheretz HaShoretz maybe, but so that's the whole machlokes Rashi Taisus b'chlal what this is talking about. Okay, so Amar Papa B'Shamta Narish. This same city that's talking about Nars, it should be it's in Kerem. Tarbe. It's fat, mashche, it's skin, ve'alise, and its tail. Meaning all the types of people over there, they're all in Kerem, they're all Rishayim. Eretz, Shimi Dvar Hashem, a pasuk in Yomi that Yomi is calling out to Yerushalayim, Shimi Dvar Hashem. Amar Rav Papa, and he poetically said that Lo Yava Narish Mer Dvar Hashem. Narish did not want to listen to Dvar Hashem. Okay, Amar Rav Gidol Amar Rav, Narsha'a Nashkich. Narsha is a person from this place, Nars. If someone from Nars kisses you, Mani Kochich. Count your teeth. Make sure you didn't steal any teeth. Nahar Pekuda Lav Yoch. If you have someone from Nahar Pekuda that accompanied you on your travels, Miglima Shapir Dechazi Alach. The reason why he's with you is because he sees you wearing a nice coat, and so he wants to eventually steal it from you. Pumpadisa, Lav Yoch, if you have someone from Pumpadisa who accompanies you, Ashni Ushpizach. Change your destination the hotel you're going to stay at, because he wants to come and rob you. Amr Rav Huna Bar Turta, Pam Achas Alachti Levad. I was one time in Levad. Nachash, I saw a snake Shukarach Alatzav that was wrapped around a toad. The Yomim, and then a few days later, Yatza Arod Mibinim. That's how an Arod is formed. Or Arvad, whatever, but Ushabasi Lifnei Rav Shimon HaChassid, and I came from Rav Shimon HaChassid, I told him this, Amar HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Hey Meviu Beria Shalei Barasi Ba'ilami, they brought a beria that I didn't create, meaning the place Vad, they used to make kilayim a lot. They were very into making kilayim, mating horses and donkeys and that type of thing. So because Hey Meviu Beria Shalei Barasi Ba'ilami, Afani Avi Aleim Beria Shalei Barasi Ba'ilami. So too I'll bring them a beria that was never created, and it's a dangerous thing, meaning it was a punishment. And there's a Gemara in Brachas that talks about that there was an Arvad that was killing people, and Chanina ben Daisa, I think, was he put his foot on the hole, and then it bit him, and then it died, and he said Lo Zamei Mitzah Achet Meimis. This the Lo Arvad Meimis, the Chet is Meimis. So it's a dangerous creature. So Hashem was punishing them by bringing this creature to them. In fact, the Gemara of Amar Kol Shetashmishin Vibur and Shaveh. Any type of animals. It's from Becharis. No, it's no. Becharis Ches. Kol Shetashmishin Vibur and Shaveh. Any type of animals that their reproductive systems are similar, and Vibur, and also the amount of time the mothers are pregnant. Right, so then Shaveh, the Shaveh, if they're equal, so Yoldin Megadlin Zemizeh, they can mate and have kids, and also they can nurse from one another. But if their reproductive systems are not are not equal, so then ein yoldin umegadlin zemized. They're not compatible to make a kid. So a toad and a snake is no shaykhs. A toad is 6 months, they say, and a snake is the longest. It's like 9 years or something. Nochash 7 years. Nochash is sheva shanim. Right. So how could it be that the toad and the has what's this arvad amarav nes b'toich nes? It was a miracle in a miracle. In fact, the Gemara haipur anisahu. What do you mean? It's poor. Why are you calling it a nes? A nes is usually something good. Why is it? It's puranus. Why are you calling it? Or why do you have a nes, a miracle for puranus? It says the Gemara, my nes b'soich nes the puranus. What do you mean nes b'soich nes? What's the two nes b'soich nes? First of all, it's a nes b'soich nes that is b'chal compatible, right? The second nes is that it was that Hashem made a miracle for puranus. To Kedei Rashi says Kedei Liparim and Rishayim. To punish the Rishayim.
So that's a good thing. It's make a Rishayim and the Rishayim to punish. So
that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
That's what needs to happen for good things.
Right. Okay. No, but you see, Mamish, that the animals of the place are affected by. It happened in this place. How did Hashem punish them? Through their kilayim, so they got kilayim too. Like they say in San Francisco, even the birds are. It's like that. Okay, Masnisin. If you have an aver and basar, there's a throwback to Perek Behemam Kasha. If you have an aver or basar that's hanging, meaning it's hanging by a thread or something, it's almost completely severed and it's hanging, but it's still attached. So, mit'amin tumas oichlin. So because it's detached mostly, so then it's considered oichel. It's mit'amin tumas oichlin. Rashi says if you're mechashev to give it to a goy, then it becomes tumas oichlin, even though it's still attached. That's the chiddush over here. It's considered oichlin. Utzrichin hechsher, and however, it does need hechsher. It needs one of the zayin mashkim to fall onto it. Nishchita, however, if you shecht it, so if the animal was shechted, so huchshur b'dameh, it's the blood that goes on the animal while you shecht it is already machshir the aver too. Divrei Rav Meir, Rav Shimon says no, the blood is machshir the animal may be right, but it's not going to be machshir the aver. The Gemara is going to explain the machlekes. Meisa behema. Let's say the animal dies. Habasar tzarich hechsher. The basar does need hechsher because there's no dam, right? And ha'aver mitame mishum aver minachai. The aver, after it dies, is mitame mishum aver minachai. The eni mitame mishum aver nevela. It's not going to be mitame mishum aver nevela. And the Gemara is going to explain what's the difference between something mitame mishum aver minachai aver mishum nevela. Rav Meir, Rav Shimon is mitar. Rav Shimon holds his tar. But either way, the chilik between the Reisha and the Seifa over here is if it's nishchata behem, Rashi explains we hold ein shchita oisen nifel, which means when you shecht something, we don't look at it. Oh, once you shechted it, so now it's as if the aver had fallen off already while it's alive. No, it's not. You're not allowed to eat it because we learned in Perek Behemam Kasha that there's an isser of basar basar de treifa. Any basar that's yoytzel mechitzasa that goes out of its regular confines, right, is asur. So therefore, since this aver is meduldul, that it becomes asur right away, even once you shechted the animal. It's definitely asur to eat, but it's not going to be mitame tumas nevela while it's connected to the animal. The Gemara is going to explain it's not mitame tumas nevela. Even once you shecht it, it's not mitame. Meaning it's not. We don't look at it as if when you shechted it. Oh, so now it's removed. That's ein shchita oisen niful. However, by misa, if an animal dies, misa oisen niful. If the animal dies, we look at it as if even while it was alive, it was detached. The second it dies, we sort of say, it was detached from before already. And then
you say it's not freya, so the chilik is whether it touched something in that
I don't know if we said freya. I'm not sure. I think we just said mikanul haba. Mikanul haba. We look at it as if it was detached from while it was alive, and then it's mitama mishum ever minachai. Not, and the Mishnah says not mishum nevela, and we'll see the chilik. What's the difference between ever minachai and nevela? The Ma'aseh says it's tuma. Okay, we'll see. Says the Gemara, tumas oichlin in. The Gemara is going back to the beginning of the Mishnah, which said that if you have an aver basar hamedul dolin, right, and while it's still attached, it's mitame tumas oichlin. It says the Gemara, tumas oichlin in, but tumas nevela loy. While it's attached, it's not mitame tumas nevela. Hey chidam. It says the Gemara, idem malin arucha. If it's able to be healed meaning it's not so severed and it's able to be healed already, so then afilu tumas oichlin nami lo l'tama. So it's still connected. So why is it oichel? Right? If anything, if you're machashev to eat any part of the animal while it's still alive, it's not going to do anything, right? If you tell me the pshat is because it's not going to heal, it's so badly severed that it's never going to heal, so then tumas nevela lami tumas, so it's as if it was detached. That's what you're saying. It's as if it's detached, and therefore it's tumas oichlin, right? So then it should be tumas nevela also. So the gemara la'olam de'ein mal arucha. No, must be eid mal arucha. The shani tumas nevela, and the reason why it's not metame tumas nevela, even though it's the gabi tumas oichlin, we say it's severed already. Rachmana Omar ki yipol. The pasuk says ki yipol minivlasam by a sheretz, and this applies to us too. And any type of nevela ki yipol ad yipol has to actually fall down. Before it actually falls, even if we'll consider it oichel, it's not going to be asar tani nami hachi. It's not going to be tami tumas nevela. Tani nami hachi over babasam dedol babehema muurin bechut asayra. If you have an aver, so that are dangling, right? Literally means dangling. However, they are attached through a thin hair, like a hair string. Yochol yitamu tumas nevela. Maybe you should think that even tumas nevela. Tamlomer yipol achi yipol. Vafilu hachi tumas, and the diak from the Mishnah from the Brisa is that even the vafilu hachi tumas oichlin mitamu. It's only nevela that's not going to be mitamu because ki yipol. Okay. Maybe we should bring a proof now to Rabbi Rashi. If you have te'enim, figs that became dry, tzamku means they shriveled up, they became dry while it was still connected to the tree. So they are metame tumas oichlin. Because they're dry, it's as if it's like detached. Once it's detached, it's metame tumas oichlin already. However, hatoilish men b'Shabbos chayav chatas. Even though legabe tumas oichlin is detached, but legabe Shabbos, if you pluck it off the tree, you're chayav achatas. And so you see here the same type of concept that legabe, one thing it's metame tumas oichlin, it's like it's attached. But legabe hilchas Shabbos and legabe hilchas nevela, it's considered still attached. So you see this type of chiluk. So maybe we should bring a proof. Lema Messiah. So it's a proof. It's a good proof. Lema Messiah. It's taka a good proof. Then the Gemara says, okay, so Lema Messiah, maybe you should bring another proof. Yerokos, the Mishnah says in Uktzin, it's a Tosefta and Uktzin. Yerokos shitzamku be'iveyan. If you have Yerokos, vegetables that became.
How do you get time to go online?
If you have Yerokos shitzamku be'iveyan, if you have vegetables that got dried up while it's still attached, right? So kigoin hakruv vadlas, like turnip and squash, right? So ein mitamin tumas oichlin. They're not mitamin tumas oichlin. And the chiluk over here is that when you have a fruit, when you have a fruit that what he was talking about. What Rashi was talking about te'ena, that's a fig. That while it's dry, it's still able to it's still able to be eaten. It's still right lachila, so it can be mitamat tumas. But these things, the kruv and the glass, they're ain't mitamat tumas if it dries up because it's not right lachila. It's eitz. It becomes very hard. Since it becomes very hard, so it's not going to be tummy. Katzetzon. Katzetzon v'yavshan. If you cut it off and then it dried, they are mitamat tumas achila. Meaning, so what this Tosefta is saying is that while it's attached, if it dries up, ein mitamat tumas achila, because it's like eitz. It became right. It's however, katzetzon v'yavshan are mitamat tumas achila. If you cut it and then it dried, then it is mitamat tumas achila. It says in the Gemara, katzetzon v'yavshan. If you cut it and dried up, sakadaitach could it really be mitamat tumas achila? Eitz be'almahu. It's eitz. So Rabbi Yitzchak explained be'al minas liyabshan. We're talking about a case al minas liyabshan. We mean that when he cut it off, he specifically wanted. Not that it actually became dry. Once it's dry, of course, it's eitz ba'alma. It's not mitamat tumas oichlin. We're talking about al minas liyabshan. He had intention to dry it, to make it into some type of kli or something. if when you cut it you had intention to make it into a kli, so then even before it dries out, it still will be considered.
Even though it was almanas liyabshan, because even he had in mind to make it something which is not going to be an eichel, right? But up until that point that it becomes that way.
Oh, it is v'tam tumas eichlin. I'm sorry. Right. It is v'tam tumas eichlin. Even though almanas liyabshan, we're saying that since it's still dry, so it is v'tam tumas eichlin. But that's still that's only while. That's only if you cut it off. If you cut it off while it's still attached, if it dries out, right? So then the Brisa says that it's not going to be metame. Says the Gemara, "Time the kruv udlas." The only reason why you're telling me, right? The only types of fruit you're telling me that they're not metame if they dry out while they're attached is only by kruv udlas. Kevin the yavshan. Once they're dry, lav b'nei and you can't eat it. Hashar peras, however, other peras that are barachila even once they're dry, so they are mitami. Because the reason why the Tosefta was discussing specifically kruv and las is because there are things that are not roy lachila, but other things kruv, but other types of fruit like a te'ena, like Rachi Barashi said, right? So we should bring a proof from here that you see the dafka kruv with las while it's attached, it's not mitami to masaichlin, but the regular Yerakos would be metame to masaichlin. Says the Gemara, Hechidami. What's the case? Idi yavshan hein v'uktzeyen. If it and it's uketz, meaning the actual fruit and the uketz is dried up. So pshita, it's pasha that it's not going to be metame to masaichlin. It's eitz ba'alma elalav below yuktzeyen. Must be that not only the fruit itself, but also the uketz, also where it's attached to the tree. Below yuktein. Only the fruit it became dry, but not the uketz. The uketz is where the stem, where it attaches to the tree, right? So that must be that, meaning the Gemara understands that if the whole thing dried up, the uketz also, so then it's for sure considered detached, right? And for sure it's considered eitz ba'alman. No one would ever think it's metame to masaichlin. Must be talking about when the uketz is still alive, and it's only the yerek which is detached. Only the yerek which is dry, right? Elalav.
It says here it is metame because it's considered attached.
For the yerakos. For the te'ena. Meaning the Brisa is talking about kruv and las, and we're saying that kruv and las, if they're attached, then it's not going to be metame to masaichlin. The diuk would be that dafka kruv with las, but not any other type of fruit, right? What we're saying about, what are we talking about over here, both in the brisa and in the diuk? Are we talking about when everything is dry and the uketz? So then it's pshita. Must be we're talking about we're talking about when the fruit itself is dry, but the uketz, the stem is not dry, and therefore we're saying. And therefore we're saying that it's a proof to Rabbi Barashi, who's saying that if the fruit itself, if the te'ena is dry, it's metame to masaichlin. Only a kruv in it last is not, but te'ena would be. So the says no. Lo'ilam hein v'uktzeyen maybe even we're talking about hein v'uktzeyen. We're talking that everything's dry, and that's why it's that's why it's not metame to masaichlin, because it's not eichel. The kotzetzon almanas liyabshan, it's strichale, and we all needed it for the seifa. The reason why we mentioned this whole case, we don't need it for the seifa. Avad it's pshita. Avad the ratio is pshita that it's not eichel. But we needed this only for the seifa to tell us that if you cut it almanas liyabshan, it's still not going to be metame to masaichlin. It's still going to be metame to masaichlin as long as it's dry. Right, so kotzetzon almanas liyabshan, if you cut them and it's still wet, but you did it almanas liyabshan, you might think that it's not going to be metame to masaichlin because you have in mind to dry it out. Still, no, it is metame to masaichlin. It's strichel, and that's the reason why it's needed. And don't bring me a proof from the ratio. The whole thing is from the. Don't bring me a proof from the diuk and the ratio. The whole thing is just for the seifa.